Hello, I'm Reverend Janice Noble, an Associate Minister at the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, where God's blessings never stop flowing. I'm here to share with you a short meditation this morning from the book of Matthew. I will be sharing with you on the topic of bringing it all to the Master. We will be reading from chapter 14 of Matthew, verses 15 through 18, and I'll be reading from the New Revised Standard Version. Please join me. When it was evening, the disciples came to him and said, "This is a deserted place, and the hour is now late. Send the crowds away so that they may go into the villages and buy food for themselves." Jesus said to them, "They need not go away. You give them something to eat." They replied, "We have nothing here but 5 loaves and 2 fish." And he said, "Bring them here to me." In the text, we find Jesus and a multitude of followers in a remote place. It's evening time, and the people haven't had anything to eat. And because they are in a deserted place, they would need to travel in order to get their food. Imagine if this occurred today. The restaurants are closed. No Chick-fil-A, no McDonald's, and the grocery stores are closing. There's no Wegmans, there's no Safeway or Publix. So you are hungry and no access to food. The disciples' remedy was to ask Jesus to send the crowd away so that the people can go and purchase some food. But Jesus tells his disciples something that probably blew them away. Jesus says to them, "You feed them." "No, disciples, don't you send the people away. You give them something to eat." Can you just imagine the surprise and the confused faces of the disciples? How can they possibly feed such a multitude? They only had 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. But Jesus instructed the disciples to bring to him the little that they had. I am reminded of Moses being afraid to do the work of God because of his fear. But God said to Moses, "What's in your hand?" And Moses had a shepherd's staff, and God used that staff to perform miracle after miracle as Moses led the children of Israel to the promised land. And again, I am reminded of a widow woman who only had a little oil, and the prophet Elisha telling her to borrow her from her neighbors, to get the pots from her neighbors, and she had that little oil, and she kept pouring it in pot after pot until she had so much oil that she was able to sell it and use the money to pay off her debts. So what's in your possession? Even when you don't think it's much, a little indeed becomes much in the Lord's hands. Trust him to do what you have to do and just watch him work. God bless, and thank you for stopping by for today's meditation, and we'll see you here again tomorrow.
Thank you so very much for your prayerful support and all the things that we have done in ministry to help so many others. We encourage you to please remember to sow a seed. We sow seeds in more ways than one. We can tangibly sow a seed into this ministry by going to thefountainofraleigh.org and click at the donate button. It is from there you can safely and securely give through PayPal, or else you may use the Tithely app. We thank you so very much for your generous support in times past, and we thank you for your present support and what you will do in the future. May God richly bless you, exceedingly and abundantly above all that you're able to ask, say, or think, according to his power at work in you. God bless you.